My name is Kiran Makkar, and today I am going to discuss with you an essay which was seen on 10th October 2015 in China. Some people think governments should focus on reducing environmental pollution and housing problems to help people prevent illness and disease. To what extent do you agree or disagree? It is indubitable. Indubitable means which cannot be disputed, which is true, which is certain, which is definite. It is indubitable that people's health is influenced by the environment and housing conditions. That is why some people are of the opinion that government should focus more on the environment and housing to avoid illness and disease. I, however, disagree with this notion. I believe that even though government should address environmental pollution and housing scarcity, there are many other things on which government must spend equally to prevent ill health. So scarcity means something which is less, to prevent housing scarcity means lack of housing. It is dearth of housing, shortage of housing. So I have said that even though I have not disagreed that I have not said that government should not spend on environment and housing, but I have said that even though government spends on this, the main focus should not be on this because there are many other things on which the government must spend equally to prevent ill health. Indeed, the environmental problems and housing conditions are two main sources for illness and diseases. For example, for instance, in many parts of my country, India, people live in slums and do not have access to clean air and potable water because of air and water pollution. People suffer from diseases such as dengue. Okay, in these areas, people suffer from diseases such as dengue, malaria, diarrhea, and so on. So, if the government looks into the environmental pollution and provides basic housing, such problems could be avoided. So, here I have given that indeed environmental problems and housing conditions have to be looked into by the government because people who don't get proper place to live or they suffer from air and water pollution, they don't get proper water to drink, they can suffer from diseases, and such diseases can be prevented if housing is looked into, if the pollution factor is looked into. However, now here comes my point. However, simply focusing on the environment and housing would not prevent all diseases. Government also has to allocate budget for other preventable diseases such as polio, TB, whooping cough, measles, mumps, and so on, which need immunization. All over the world, all governments are spending on pulse polio vaccine to eradicate polio from the world. Then there are diseases such as cancers, which can be prevented by screening tests. Government should spend on tests like pap smear and mammography, through which cancer of the cervix and breast can be diagnosed much before the actual symptoms appear. In such stages, these cancers are and uh, totally curable with very inexpensive treatment. So here I've said that there are other methods of preventing diseases. There are diseases which need immunization, and then we can prevent children from having those diseases. And then there are diseases which have screening tests, and if those screening tests are done regularly, then these diseases can be diagnosed at the very initial stages and before the actual symptoms appear, and um, then these diseases can be totally curable in those stages. Another important area which needs government action is the awareness of people. Mass awareness campaigns are needed along with looking into the housing so that people can take steps to prevent themselves. For examples, for example, even if the government provides housing to all, but the people keep stagnant water in coolers and other areas, dengue can spread like an epidemic and all government efforts will go in vain. So, in this paragraph, I have said that apart from looking into the housing and environment, mass awareness campaigns have to be started, because unless and until people themselves know how to prevent themselves from disease, they will still get those diseases because they are not, because they'll not take steps to keep their environment clean. So, people also have to look into it. In conclusion, I reiterate that simply giving priority to environmental pollution and housing will not prevent all disease. Government should allocate funds to other things such as screening tests and awareness of the people also to prevent disease. So plan followed is very simple. In this I have I have just in the introduction disagreed, and then advantages of addressing environmental problems and housing in one paragraph, and in para 2 and 3 other areas on which government should allocate its fund, and then the conclusion. So this is my 5 paragraph essay. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do not forget to click on the like button below and subscribe to my channel for more such essays. Thank you.